Happy new moon in Aquarius. Whoa boy. I'm Annette Dion. I'm here to bring you the psychic news. This is the Psychic News Network. And I'm glad that you're here. Some of you beat me to it. It's been a fast day. So happy new moon, and make sure you're setting your goals for the year. This is kind of like, if you didn't set your New Year's goals yet, this is a good time to do it. Because this is the first new moon of the new year. We started out with the full moon on the 6th, as we recall. The full moon was quite intense. So this is the first new moon of the new year. So a good time to set your goals and resolutions to, just revamp them or, reboot them. And the energy of Aquarius is I think of the Tower card when I think of Aquarius. Good night. Somebody's saying good night. It's like, sounds like you're leaving. Stay. Aquarius is disruptive energy, but things have to get disrupted before they come together in a brand new way. So I got a new mug, and it says, "Too blessed to be stressed." So yes, to get a reading. Get a reading. Good time to get a reading, actually. New moon promise time. My niece we're still selling her calendars, the lunar calendar for 2023. It's on my website. Help the young artist to succeed. She's awesome. Of course she's awesome. I'm her auntie. Anyway, tomorrow we have a class, the third in our series, the Law of Attraction series, and tomorrow's class is about getting over doing it all yourself. A lot of us have that syndrome of, I'll just do it all myself, and it's a really good class, and the Law of Attraction classes have been awesome, and I hope that you can join us. PsychicAnnetteDion.com is the place to go. In other news, in terms of what I'm doing, it's going to be a big year. I am, speaking of new moon goals, getting ready to launch a podcast, and that's going to be, pretty sure I'm going to do that next week. Got to get all the logistics lined up, and the podcast will be called Spirit Talk Podcasts. We'll be talking about spiritual matters. And there's Canada. Good to see you. I don't have any particular specific questions written down or anything. Of course, we know major topics that are going on. But I'm saying that because if you want to type in your questions, feel free. If I feel the energy of, yeah, it feels good to answer that question now, we'll answer your question. There's not any bad questions. Well, maybe. But if I'm just not feeling it, I'll just bypass your question. Quebec is here. Hello. I'm going to start off with a couple things that I'm thinking of. I'm going to start off with the Republicans. And what I'm going to ask is about Republicans and voting rights. And we're just going to start off with that. I'm going to pick 3 cards about Republicans and voter rights. Will Santos be a seat mate with Bolsonaro on Con Air Brazil? Is Con Air Brazil? What's Con Air Brazil? I need to know more about, well, I feel like Brazil's coming for George Santos, but that's not his name. It was a sunny day where you are. Oh, it's been really dark and raining and snowing here today. But it's January. I'm picking 3 cards. Convict transport. Oh! I felt that couple things coming up. I felt that Brazil was coming for George Santos. That was maybe 2 Fridays ago. No, actually it was last Friday. And DeSantis, their names are so similar. George Santos and Ron DeSantis. Oh, thank you. I did my nails. They match my mood ring. Let's see. So, a few things. Yeah, yucky snow. No, I mean, it's nicer when the snow kind of piles up just a little bit. I bet there was beautiful snow in Vermont. So first let's start with the question about Republicans. Somebody's asking about Putin. I definitely get that he's not long for this world. I've been saying that for a couple months now. Oh dear, I spilled something on my card. It's not good to have a sticky card. Just eating beets of all things. My beets spilled on my card. Republicans and voting rights. Okay, so the Republicans are going to continue to stick it to the American people with voting rights. But what we're seeing happen is that it's being revealed to us. Like, think about Wisconsin, what's happened in Wisconsin with, I don't even know the guy's name. Let me just look. Because he was bragging about suppressing the minority vote. And sometimes I screenshot the news so I remember. I think I read this the other night. A Republican member of Wisconsin's Bipartisan Elections Commission on Wednesday stood by comments he made crowing about depressed turnout among Black and Hispanic voters. So he was basically all happy that he had suppressed the vote. I just didn't get what that guy's name was. So the Republicans are going to continue to make it difficult for people to vote, which is really just a cry for us. This is a cry to all of us. This is a calling out for all of us to rise up and fight for our voting rights, because they're planning to stick it to us. All right? You know what I'm saying? But it's becoming very clear what we need to do. We have our work cut out for us as American citizens. Please join us at Grassroots of Democracy. We had a great group this week, last night. We also meet tomorrow. So please consider joining us, because we're putting together plans to save our voting rights. Because this is where Republicans have the American people. By the you-know-what. And the moon card is indicating that they're about to inflict a lot of pain. And we have our work cut out for us in terms of we know what we need to do. And we're going to be doing it. So voting rights, it's definitely a huge problem. Huge problem. But as long as we get our ducks in a row, we can conquer this. And look at, there was some really good, no, it wasn't Ron Johnson. It was a state representative, I think. I apologize, I don't have his name right in front of me, but this is what he looks like. Robert Spindell. There he is! That's the guy. So proud that he suppressed the vote successfully. In a democracy. I know. Boggles the brain, doesn't it? So what it looks like is we will feel the pain of not being able to have our voting rights, and when we feel the pain, we know we have our work cut out for us, and we're already feeling that pain. Some of this has to do with the abortion bans too. So somebody was asking about, oh, Maria's taking the class this Saturday. Yay! Go to my website if you want to sign up for the class. And somebody wanted to know, let's look up George Santos. Let's look at some cards about George Santos. George Santos. He has a huge burden on him, George Santos. He's happy as a clam. And I think Sheila said that the other night. We had Sheila, Celtic Tower Sheila, on Wednesday night on our show with Bridge Cape Ann. So make sure you read Chuck's quotes. They're great. So this is about George Santos. He has a huge burden because of his lies on him. But I'm telling you, it doesn't even faze George Santos. He's being treated like royalty. I feel like George Santos has never been treated this much, with this much, I don't know, attention, but like with this many rights and this much power in his entire life. So he's gloating. George Santos is gloating. So all these lies that he has on his back, the burden of all the lies, is not affecting him because he's quite a in the clouds kind of a guy. Lovely, isn't it? And he's actually not being affected by the burden of all the lies. So he feels he's not affected because he feels very protected. George Santos does. So let's ask the pendulum. Is George Santos going to come to a rude awakening? Is George Santos gonna have a rude awakening? I'm getting a yes. He's gonna have a rude awakening. And the rude awakening, does it have to do with the crimes in Brazil? I keep getting that Brazil's gonna come for him. Will Brazil come before the DOJ in the United States or the that's kind of that it might be both. They might both, the United States and Brazil. Is it both? Is it the pressure from the United States and Brazil? It's going to be kind of both. It's going to be both burdens piled up on George Santos's head. Yes, I don't think he'll be in that seat for too long. Will George Santos be in that seat in the month of April? I get a no. So come April. Okay, will George Santos still be in his seat in the month of March? We're just counting backwards. No. So it looks like it's going to be sooner than March. Will George Santos be out of his seat in February? I get yes. Yeah, so Ray Nutting here is saying Santos is getting a paycheck and benefits and playing with others like him. Oh, yeah. This is his day in the sun. He's got the sun card. He's got the 9 of Pentacles. He's never felt so wealthy in his entire life. So the United States of America has now become a country where you can be an overt, brazen, right in the limelight criminal and be rewarded. Everybody, let's just take a breath and take that in. The United States of America is now a country in which you can run for office, you can be a blatant, out there in everybody's face criminal, doing crimes, and you can be rewarded for that. Take a deep breath. That's why I have my group. That's why I have Grassroots of Democracy. Because we get stuff done. We get stuff done, don't we, Maria? Maria, we get stuff done. Maria was there at our meeting last night, and she's helping us to, she's giving us little lessons on, like, civics class. So that's fun. Susan Cox, you're well aware that every Tuesday night we are sending white light to the Capitol. Are you bringing it up because it's what we do? I'm just asking. This has been my week. Full disclosure. Something's going on with me astrologically that, when people tell me what to do, especially if I'm already doing it. Okay. But perhaps acknowledge that I'm doing it already. We also meet on Saturdays. Alright, so let's take a look. And come to our 20 on Tuesdays. I'm just kind of messing with you. I'm just telling you that, Susan, I'm just saying that there's something going on astrologically where I've like put my foot down. It's like, I'm not going to take it anymore. That kind of energy. That would be Aquarius. So George Santos, it looks like he'll be booted out in February. We're going to take a few card look at Putin. I really do feel a turning point with Ukraine. Thank you. I didn't mean to wear these glasses tonight. Somebody likes my glasses. These are from Lulu. Lulu sent me a whole package of glasses. I think Lulu's in Amsterdam. The war is kind of turning. Before I ask about Putin, I want to ask about Germany. I want to ask Rose, exactly. We're not going to take it anymore. It could be the collective energy too. Yeah. Yeah. So Amy, on Saturdays we also meet. Grassroots of Democracy also meets. I'm going to look at what's going on with Germany, because Germany is withholding some tanks from Ukraine, and I'm not understanding what the delay is, but when I look into it, I see some arm, wrestling going on. So what's going on with Germany? Why are they delaying sending their tanks to Ukraine? Because I do feel a big event on Russia. Like cumulative, the NATO countries get together. I feel a big event coming for Russia. And this is pointing to, I think actually these cards are similar to what I got the other night. This is Russia. I think these might be the exact same cards I got the other night. This is Russia out of money. I definitely got the 5 of Cups on this before. I love that blanket that he has over him. This is Russia out of money. Oh, please hit the thumbs up. Much appreciated. We gotta fight for our rights to vote. Yeah, it could be that I'm picking up on the collective energy of, everybody, let's quit fooling around here. Could be. The King of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. Zelensky took a big hit this week with that helicopter coming down on Wednesday. That was awful. I did get that card before, right? That's Russia. Russia is out of resources. Putin is bluffing. Yeah, see, Germany is afraid of Russian reprisals. Yeah, I'm picking that up. I'm picking up, twisting the arm behind the back kind of thing. I think that Putin is, it's not like a threat. It's more like, is it Schultz, the German chancellor? You get song snippets in your head depending on the subject. Join the club. So as far as Germany goes, I feel like they'll be able to send enough tanks. My cards are stuck together, I think. Oh yeah, huh. Never eat around your tarot cards. Hey, words of the wise. Don't eat your lunch with your tarot cards. I got beet juice on my cards. This is Zelensky. This is the United States. Putin's out of money. He's destitute, and he's a master bluffer. And he's pretending that things are just going peachy keen, but they're not. Let's ask the pendulum. Is Germany going to succumb to the pressure and send the tanks? It looks like yes. Sometimes, we know something has to happen, but sometimes there are people in the mix that just want to slow walk things. And I feel like that it's a slow walking thing with Germany holding off on the tanks. So the tanks will be sent. Is that what I'm getting? It looks like the tanks from Germany will be sent. And now we'll read on Putin. By the way, I'm using the Llewellyn cards. We might switch it up a little bit as we get into it. We're just getting warmed up. Okay. Putin. Putin's been very sick for a very long time. And I'm not sure how he's still standing health-wise. I'm not sure why he's not dead yet, to be frank. He's not dead yet. And I'm going to take a look at that. I'm just looking at Putin's health. I'm trying to remember, I was getting kind of a vision of Putin today, and it felt like he was really clenched. He felt really like he was clenching everything. What were you saying you were wondering about? Oh, thank you for the wielders of the wrenches on life support. I don't feel like he's on life support because I get this really strong sense of Putin's like gripping. You know when people get when a child has a tantrum and they're just gripping because they're so angry. That's what I get about Putin. Cheryl, you're here all the time. The reason I'm saying that is because you're asking will the Ukraine war be done in June, and my, no psychic is totally accurate, but I just keep getting the first week of February that it's going to end. And we'll read on that too. So this is about Putin's health. Putin is feeling like he's at the end of his life right now. Look, the sky on that card matches my shirt. Look, check that out. It matches my shirt. Anyway, this is that Putin knows that he's lost. This is not a victory card. He's clenching. Well, Marilyn. If you're reading the chat, it's pretty entertaining. That's why I do my best to keep my focus, but you guys are pretty funny. Anyway, the Eight of Cups. This is lost. This is Putin. He's lost. I was just, clenching. The guides kind of give me images. The Knight of Wands, I'm getting the sense the Knight of Wands is representing somebody telling Putin he's lost the war. And the Magician, this feels like something's going to come out of left field for Putin that he doesn't expect. Thank you, Gloria. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, because I was just saying my sense about him, just reading Putin's energies, that he's really clenching. And then all these people are saying something about his bowels, that's probably why he's clenching. But the Magician is showing me that something's going to feel like it comes out of left field for Putin and catches him off guard. And this feels like somebody's telling him he's lost the war. Oh, Russian state TV tonight was very transparent. Lori's saying host and guest were saying things normally not allowed. Every psychic has seen that Putin has been very ill for a very long time. And we're not getting that much news that we can consider factual, so we kind of have to surmise and guess. You just have to check with your local YouTube psychic. And, we know he fell down the stairs and soiled his pants, and that's interesting that got in the news from Russia. So, you want to see the body before you declare Putin is gone for good? How would you know that it was his body? Marilyn. Yes, we're nearing the end. We're nearing the end. Froze. Behave, Rose. Let's pick 3 more cards about that. Yeah, I feel somebody just talking to him and saying it's over. It's over. Yeah. Okay. 10 of Swords. It's over. Hangman is surrender. 6 of Wands is lining up. This is Ukraine. I just feel there's this peace coming over Ukraine, like no more war. No more war. I have another photo to show you. So it looks like the Ukrainians are going to see an end to this. I mean, it's got to end eventually, right? Hang on, I just want to show you something. I will in a minute. So that's the 10 of Swords. That's not a happy card. The Friday Night Crew is live. What are you saying? Are you talking about me? When someone is really mad. Yeah, I get it. Believe me, I get it, Rose. Anyway, I have a picture that I want to show you for you to envision. And it's way back here. I want you all to envision that. See? Let's envision that. That's just a screenshot. Okay? You can take a screenshot of that. That's a picture from the 60s. War is over if you want it. Happy Christmas from John and Yoko. So that must have been like 1969. That's from 1969. Yeah, so just visualize it. Let's call on John Lennon. Peace. Imagine all the people living in peace. Living life in peace. Oh, that reminds me. David Crosby left us. Let's have a moment for David Crosby. He had a good life. He had a hard life. Great songwriter. You see sunflowers blooming. So we've got some psychics in the chat. Cool. After I found out that David Crosby passed, I saw his just smiling, beaming, round face. So I think David Crosby is good. What happens to Russia when Putin is gone? All we need is love. Rose, you're full of music tonight. Yeah, I actually... Jones says... Okay, so Jones getting the affirmative from her pendulum about Russia. Yeah, when I thought about David Crosby, I kind of felt like David Crosby crossed over, and sometimes I get this when people cross over, and especially if they haven't felt well for a long time, and they cross over, and it's like, man, I should have done this sooner. That's the kind of feeling I get. Like, we think that death is so horrible, but it's more horrible for the survivors, believe me. Not that we want to die, but I'm just saying. Thank you for the compliments about readings with me. Yeah. David Crosby, man, you know, I'm a songwriter. I just love great artists that inspire. But he's happy. He was physically, David Crosby was physically not doing too good. And it was a while. What's too choppy and ungrounded? You're making me paranoid that my Wi-Fi is not working. What's too choppy and ungrounded? Yeah, I have this feeling. Yeah, teach your children well. That's a good song. Everybody pull out some Crosby, Stills, and Nash tonight. And the Wi-Fi is good. Yeah, I don't know. What were you talking about, Liza? What's too choppy and ungrounded? Just breathe. Bring it all in. I'm going to thank you for the Wi-Fi check. Okay, good. I'm going to pick 3 cards about David Crosby. Brought up John Lennon. It got me to think about David Crosby and great songwriters. Yeah, he had lost his strength. David Crosby, he'd lost his strength, and he just... I think he was still recording songs, you know, towards the end, too. The Magician, it's like a magic trick happened. And the Knight of Pentacles. He was greeted by somebody on the other side. Feels like he was greeted by another famous songwriter. Well, who was it? I have to think about who that might be, because it just feels like he was greeted on the other side by like a really notorious songwriter, like maybe a John Prine or somebody like that who was just really Leonard Cohen, maybe. Southern Cross, great song, great song. I mean, call me a prude, but I want to hear songs like that again. I want to hear great songs again. Tom Petty. It wasn't, no, I'm not really picking up, it's more like I'm not picking up Tom Petty. I'm picking up that that David Crosby was greeted by somebody like a Leonard Cohen. Or, you know, somebody who was really just known for poetry and songwriting, kind of. The Bridge played a lot of his songs today. Lisa Marie Presley. I don't think she's reachable on the other side just yet, but I had said that she died of a broken heart and that the drugs really taxed her heart. Great harmonies. Oh, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. It was Leonard Cohen. I'm just going to crack open the window because it's warm in here. And then you get to hear the bottle drop. You'll hear the bottles drop from the bar in a couple minutes. Lisa Marie had a very hard life. And you know what's so interesting is that if you think about coming into this world and having everything handed to you on a silver platter, and you never had to work for anything, as much as people poo-poo work, you know, seeing earning, like working for reward, knowing that something happened and was achieved because you put in the effort and the energy, and producing money yourself because you gave it your all. If you don't have that, if you don't need that, because you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, that's not an easy existence. I know people think that maybe that's what everybody wants, is to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth. But if you really look at it, I mean, Lisa Marie Presley, can you imagine being born into Elvis's family and then her father having all these drug problems? And it's just hard. Oh, Julian Sands. I actually do think the actor... I don't recall seeing movies he was in, but after I heard more about Julian Sands, who got lost hiking in California, I feel like he did perish. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. I feel like Julian Sands did perish. But anyway, just speaking of people that are born with a lot of wealth and a lot of fame in the family, that is a hard existence. Yeah. I mean, look at Michael Jackson. And they were like the daughter of the King of Pop and the King of Pop got together, and they were both so messed up from the way they were brought up. Yeah, the bar bottle drop should happen any minute. Let's see. I'm actually going to pull 3 cards about Lisa Marie Presley. The guides are saying about Lisa Marie, she's working it out. On the other side, she's working it out. That's what we do when we cross over. Before we just float around with the angels, we kind of work it out. Yes, this is my working it out card. This is like doing the work, reviewing her life, seeing where things went wrong. I feel like when we cross over to the other side, we do a review and we go, yeah, could have done better there, could have done better there, could have done better there. And then we decide to come back. Or not. But I think mostly, yeah, how do you escape being the child of someone so famous? And for that matter, it's not like, not that I have sympathy for Donald Trump, because I don't, because he's such a heinous individual. But when I step back and I look at, the man had no love. Donald Trump had no love. In fact, the punishment that Donald Trump is getting in his life is he has, contrary to what you might think, sometimes I feel like I'm too far away. Donald Trump had no love in his life. And it's not the kind of life that you would want. Truly. Rose is just singing up a storm here tonight. You got a gold toilet. Yeah, who needs that? Great quote. Chuck says, there's nothing better than music as a means for upliftment of the soul. Hear ye, hear ye. One day, music will take its rightful place as the true religion of mankind. Hazrat Inayat Khan. I gotta look these people up. So I'm looking at Lisa Marie. Lisa Marie was actually feeling very destitute in her life. She lost her son to suicide. I think it was all downhill from there. I think she became a heavy drinker and drugger after that. She already did have a problem. So she's working it out on the other side. The Knight of Swords, yeah, somebody just said that her father probably greeted her on the other side. The Knight of Swords, I would say that's yes. And Michael Jackson. I really do feel like they connected. It's funny because I remember, not last year, but the year before on New Year's Eve day, Betty White died. And when Betty White died, I felt her crossing over and being greeted by all these spirits of, souls she had known in her work and on the earthly plane. And they were just whooping it up on the other side. That's how it felt. Her son too, yeah, the Knight of Swords, yeah. Yeah, I feel like Lisa Marie, when she crossed over, she's just kind of, I feel like there was, there's a time, and you've heard about this from people who have had near-death experiences. There's this little time of, oh no, am I really gone? So she's kind of working it out. Betty White was great. Our souls, they, we come here with a plan. Like everybody that's here right now, we're here by appointment. We agreed to be here. Yeah, Lisa Marie she was having a hard time of it. I think that she had a ton of guilt that was insurmountable. I don't think that she could, it was guilt that was insurmountable, not that she caused her son's suicide, but it was just that she couldn't process it at all. I mean, it's improcessable, but she just numbed out or attempted to numb out. But she's at peace now. She's with a lot of loving souls. And I get that her father loved her to pieces. Like she probably didn't even know how much Elvis loved her. She probably didn't even know because he was always busy and drugging. And I blame Elvis Presley's, what happened with him in his life totally on greed. Totally on the record industry and all treating him like a product. And I'm telling you, be glad that you are of meager means. Honestly, sometimes we just have to be glad that we have a simple life. You ever think about that? And a reading you fought to be born 2 months early? Yeah, I mean, if you're meant to be here, you're going to be here. If your soul knew that it had work to do and stuff, there's a bottle drop. We actually come here to have a good time too, We come onto the earth plane to have a good time too. You see Lisa Marie going to be sharing great messages when mediums read her on YouTube. Oh, yeah, I could see that. In fact, today I was thinking that I need to do some more channeling. I need to squeeze in another channeling session. Maybe I could do an extra video. Who do you want me to channel? Usually I do that separately because it's kind of a different kind of rhythm, kind of energy than doing a tarot. Yeah. Maybe we could channel Betty White. But just, as far as what's going on in this country and everything. Too, like what do the people on the other side have to say about that? Okay. Let's look at Kevin McCarthy. Yeah, I'll do some channeling. I channeled John Lennon before, all the regulars. This kind of like a top 10 of all the people like Marilyn Monroe and Jackie Onassis and JFK, of course, and like Martin Luther King and Abraham Lincoln. This is like the list of the top people that everyone wants to hear what they have to say. Kevin McCarthy! It's the first anniversary of whose death? Elvis's? Wait. Moonchild, who? Thich Nhat Hanh. Oh yeah, I've been asked to. Has it been a whole year? Thich Nhat Hanh. I will. Yeah, maybe that. I'm sure that I'd get a message. Yeah, I know who Thich Nhat. I'm not saying the name right, but Thich Nhat Hanh. I did say it right. Sai Baba. I think Sai Baba's probably on another planet by now. Okay, we'll do it. It's unanimous. I'm picking 3 cards about Kevin McCarthy. Just because we want to know what the heck is he's an empty shell of a man. Kevin McCarthy's an empty shell. Yeah, I channeled RBG before too. I'm not doing that tonight. I'm just doing cards tonight and pendulum. It'll have to be a special thing. What do you mean extraterrestrial? Yeah, Thich Nhat Hanh. Moonchild, you're funny. Kevin McCarthy. Oh dear Kevin. This is Kevin McCarthy. He's between a rock and a hard place. He doesn't know what's going on. He's freaking clueless. I don't channel ETs. This is Kevin McCarthy. Now, the Two of Swords is like, he's clueless. He doesn't know which direction to turn. And the Hangman is surrender, so he's definitely being held. He's hostage of the house. Kevin McCarthy is hostage of the house. And the Knight of Swords. Might this be Jack Smith? Rose, you are in rare form tonight. Doesn't know his butt from a hole in the ground. The lights aren't even on. What lights? What are you talking about? Sorry, I'm trying to follow too many conversations, and I know it's probably very annoying. I'm wondering, okay, this is Kevin McCarthy. This is the card of a truce. This is the card of, you ever get that feeling, in life when something is real difficult and you have no idea. You don't know if this way is better or that way is better, and you're just stuck, paralyzed, right? Hola. Damon saying he's on drugs. I didn't say he's on drugs. I just said, I didn't say that. Nope, don't put that on me. I'm going to take a look. Oh, Sabrina, you just made my day. Thank you. Because Kevin McCarthy, he's the hangman. He's got to surrender. He's a hostage. And the Knight of Swords, I'm just wondering, I feel that's justice. Is justice coming for our friend, the Marshmallow McCarthy? Oh, I just made up a new phrase. I'm doing a Trump. Marshmallow McCarthy. Is the law coming from Marshmallow McCarthy? No? Well, anyway, that's not what it's indicating, is what it's not the law coming. Okay. Are the House members coming for It just popped out of my mouth. Are the House members are coming for Kevin McCarthy. Oh my gosh, I see him being carted off. Yeah, he's going to be booted out. It's the House members. Yeah. Okay, how long will that take? Oh, will it be? That's a good question. He'll lose speaker when some members get indicted? No, that's not it. I think the House members are gonna, the illegitimate House members, it only takes one vote. I know, that boggles my brain. We can toast them over the fire and make s'mores. Oh, Andrea, thank you. Andrea the RN. This is her after work date. It's date night. All of us that don't have dates, here we are. Okay, so let's see. Gosh, I'm kind of befuddled. Are the House members going to oust him? I'm getting that the House members are going to oust him. Yeah, we'll get to the rest of them. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Who is gonna head this up? Who's gonna head up ousting McCarthy? Who's gonna head that up? Is it Marjorie Taylor Greene? No, because she's for him. Cheryl, are you checking a pendulum? Because you're asking 2 weeks. I'm wondering if you're getting that. Is Matt Gaetz going to call for his ousting? No. Are the Democrats going to call for his ousting? Well, I'm getting a yes on the Democrats calling for his ousting. And Jack Smith, somebody's saying Jack Smith. Yeah, I'm getting it's the Dems. Jack Smith has been dragging folks into court lately. Yes, he has. That's true. Is Lauren Boebert going to call for his ousting? I'm actually getting that it's the Democrats. I'm not getting Boebert. That's interesting. So just I just want to make it clear that the pendulum reads the energy of a situation, and sometimes it throws us off a little bit because it kept on saying Kevin McCarthy will not be Speaker of the House. Does Eric Swalwell have something to do with wow. I don't know if the Democrats can oust him with one vote. Seems like if they could, they would have done it immediately. Can the Democrats oust Kevin McCarthy with one vote? Does anybody have the lowdown on that? Warren, you still in the House? Speaking of the House. Can the Democrats oust him with one vote? Cat Lovers is asking, and I'm asking. Maria, are you still out there? I know there's a delay on the answer. Yeah, they would have done that already. They can call for a vote. Oh, let's have a conversation here. They can call for a vote. Are the Democrats going to call for a vote? Yes, the Democrats can call for a vote. It takes one vote. Because I'm trying to actually decipher what I'm getting here. That's the tricky part of this work. Because, I can't tell you how many times I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about. One person in the House can call for a vote, and then they need enough to remove him. And it can be a Democrat, right? And Maria and I are saying they would have done it, or well, maybe they wouldn't have done it already. I know. Let's pull a few cards about that. It's to bring up a no confidence vote by all House members. Yes, they can. Warren's saying yes, they can. I'm picking up the Dems are going to call for a vote to oust McCarthy. Wow. All right. Come to our Grassroots of Democracy meetings. We talk about all of this stuff. We educate each other. We're not ashamed of not knowing things. Some of us didn't even have civics classes. All right. Is that going to happen in January? Not in January. Is it going to happen in February? Not in February. Is it going to happen in March? April? May? You know, I got this the other night. Grassroots of Democracy is amazing. I started the group a year ago. Maybe to the day. I got, the other day I got that he'd be ousted by the, by like June. Somebody's asking where I got the mug. Remember when I said one day that I stopped at Marshall's and I got, and we'll switch to the Tarot of the Divine too. I got these cards. And I didn't know Marshall's carried tarot cards. I'm not a big shopper. I just kind of go on a whim. Tarot of the Divine. Well, the other night, I needed a new mug because I kept breaking my mugs, and I saw this, Too Blessed to Be Stressed. And I wish I could tell you. Hang on. Sheffield Home Goods. Yeah, Sheffield Home. You know how Marshalls, they get the overstock stuff and discontinued things? But I love that. I thought that was really great. Because, you know, we need things to just soften the energy with everything that's going on. So let's go to, let's ask about that. Thanks, Susan. Let's ask about that. I needed this mug this week. I don't know. Must be all that Aquarian energy. Okay, so I'm gonna, yeah, TJ Maxx is Marshall's, TJ Maxx. These are from Lulu. Lulu sent me the glasses. There's like 5 pairs. Oh, Massachusetts, we get the best merch? Oh, wow. Yeah, Home Goods. They always, if you go to a mall, they all seem to be in the same area. Okay, so the 5 of Swords. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we're asking about Kevin McCarthy being ousted, which the pendulum keeps saying it's going to be in June. The 5 of Swords is damage inflicted. It's because of damage inflicted. American Skin Terrible Merchandise. I never heard of that. Never heard of that. Has to be 2/3 of the members of the House. Okay, so the 5 of Swords is like, it seems like they're going to call to oust him by the summer. You know what this coincides with? Oh, TJ Maxx headquarters is in, I don't know, trivia. It's in Framingham, Massachusetts. Who knew? You knew. After enough damage has been inflicted, and this reminds me, since I'm picking up on June for Kevin McCarthy being ousted, and that lines up with the debt ceiling. Exactly, Diana, you beat me to the punchline, doesn't it? They're going to create chaos with the debt ceiling situation and the Page of Swords. This, to me, this is justice on its way. It's a debt ceiling. They oust him because of the debt ceiling. Wow. Remember I said not too long ago, particularly January, February, and March are going to be very hard. We're going to start turning the corner and seeing some hope. We're going to feel some hope rising up around the end of March, going into the spring. We're going to feel rising up. Are you guys talking about stores? I'm seeing these strange, like, titles, and justice doesn't hurry up. I'm seeing these names of stores I never heard of. Wicked Pissa, awesome. Soul Surfer, where do you live? You're talking like a New Englander. Thank you, Diana. Diana's reminding you all to hit the thumbs up. Yeah, I know, the New Zealand, what's her name, just Yacinda? Oh, you're in Northampton, okay. You're a Massachusetts person. Does it, oh yes, the debt ceiling default affect the average American? Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, you're from Brooklyn. Welcome, fellow Massachusetts person. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Are you saying to channel? Yeah, what an amazing soul he was. It's a rocky road to truth. So I'm just sort of processing that whole thing. If they, I mean, these Republicans, one thing you can say for sure, and okay, let's call them fascists. I'm actually getting to a point where I don't want to call them Republicans, because they're not Republicans. They're fascists, right? And if they wreck this country, they'll be held to pay. They'll be held to pay. All right, I'm going to look at the debt ceiling situation. That looked like, those three cards I just pulled looked like that. Looked like that. They're going to create holy hell, and once people feel the pain, and I'm sorry, I keep saying it that way. I just keep saying that what I feel is that it won't be until America feels the pain most acutely. I mean, financial, when we see what's going on, when we see things not working, we're going to start to understand the intricacies. I mean, if you sit down and you think about it, like when the supply chains were being disrupted, when a big supply, those big like ships that are this size of the Empire State Building that ship supplies all over the world, when that got cut in some river, what got stuck there? Remember that? The Nile or something? I'm just saying, when we realize, like the railroad strikers and how delicate of a balance that we have to keep, with everything, just to live our lives. Layoffs, and the debt ceiling, I think Donald Trump set the record for the most debt incurred, and they raised the debt ceiling for Donald Trump 3 times. The Suez Canal, I'm saying the Nile, what do I know? So the ship got caught there, and there was, remember when DeJoy started getting rid of the mail sorting machines and slowed down the mail, and in the mail there were like farmers that ordered chicks, little baby chicks, and the chicks were dying, and we have to keep things moving. If they don't agree to raise the debt ceiling, which is to pay off the debt incurred by the Republicans, by Donald Trump, I think all these fascists should take a cut in pay, if you ask me. But anyway, we would just stop functioning. The world economy would crash. Yeah, DeJoy's on his way out. They raised the debt ceiling 3 times. And okay, so with things running fairly normally, there's still supply chain issues. We will have we'd have no Medicare or very little. Social Security would fall apart. People would lose their pensions. It would affect everybody. Somebody was asking, will it affect Americans if the debt ceiling isn't raised? Yes, we're paying for bills that were incurred in the past by Republicans. I'll never forget the day when Clinton was president, and I don't know, just in passing, I wasn't old enough to really follow what was going on too much, or maybe just not that interested. I remember when Bill Clinton, when he was president, and he said, we've balanced the budget and we are in surplus. That's what the Democrats do. Oh yeah, we're talking about David Crosby. Yeah, David Crosby was like, it's remarkable he lived to the age of 81. Anyway, back to the debt ceiling. When Kevin McCarthy doesn't do anything to reel in the other fascists, we couldn't pay the salary. We couldn't pay the postal workers. There's so many things that wouldn't happen, that would just stop. The guys just said air traffic controllers. Now, I don't know why the FAA. And the bills were incurred by the Republicans. And now that's like the Republicans putting us into all this debt and saying, nah, we're not going to pay back the debt that we incurred because we want to stick it to the Democrats. And not only, they want to blame it on the Democrats. So it's when the pain gets great enough, then Americans will rise up. Your sister-in-law said there's no place in America as a place to celebrate Christmas. She said it's the best. I'm lost. That's cool. Texas National Guard soldier patrolling border shoots migrant after struggle. In Fox News. Are you watching Fox? Oh, well, you know, just speaking of the... That's a terrible story. I hope that's not true. You know, it is true. Warren, I agree. Mitch McConnell's been awfully quiet. We'll look at that. It's been only Democrats have been able to put us in surplus or at least catch us up somewhat. Subscribe to Midas Touch. They're awesome. If you watch these lives, you have to get used to me just bouncing all over the place. Rome is the best place to celebrate Christmas, I hear. I've always wanted to experience like the UK during Christmas, like a Dickens kind of vibe. Okay, we're gonna look more at that debt ceiling issue. Picking 3 cards about the debt ceiling. Kind of sticking with these cards tonight. I was gonna switch it up. We'll see. Oh, they're gonna inflict pain. This is like the 3rd time I've gotten this tonight. The fascists, I'm gonna start calling them the fascists, are going to inflict pain because the cruelty is the point. I'm trying to follow the conversation. Good luck with that, Annette. The 9 of Swords. The Republicans are going to make sure that they're as cruel can be. And that is their objective. So if you feel like you can just sit by the wayside and just watch them do that, then I don't know how. And now Damon saying drunk every day for 2 weeks. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Talk amongst yourselves. The 7 of Wands is when we have suffered. There's a journey away from the wreckage. I heard a 30%. They want to gut the IRS. The fascists want to gut the IRS, get rid of it, and instead impose a 30% tax. I heard 30%, not 23. Sales tax on everything. Yeah, Paul, look at Paul Newman. He had all that money and he just sold all this stuff, and we're still buying Paul Newman products, and it all goes to charity. Brazilian Crystals is back. Yeah, well, 23%, 30%, you know, it's still... The universe will have its way with the fascists. But it won't be until after we have a lot of pain. Well, yeah, up to gate 88. Is that you, Janet? Is that Janet? I think we're all in agreement with taxing the rich, right? Who moved to Connecticut? What are you guys talking about? This is the thing. They want the fascists that are in the House want their constituents to suffer, and then make their constituents think that I don't know. They're just I can't get to the bottom of it. How can they be so stupid? How can the constituents be so stupid? I mean, the people that voted for the fascist, how can they be that stupid? I mean, really. Okay, Moonchild, every single Tuesday we do a visualization for a healed America. Come. Maybe we can join our group up with other groups and make it huge. We'll be doing that. Yeah, and what we really need to fight for is, I know they listen to Fox News, but it's more like you have to have that meanness inside of you. Maybe we can get a big, giant group, bigger group than what I have on Tuesday nights to meditate and visualize also. So, let's see if we can get a little more on that. Oh yeah, this is fascists going to prison. This is fascists going to prison. And Uptick 888 is saying, come join us tomorrow. Just visit us. Just come and lurk at our meetings if you're shy. We don't make you do anything you don't want to do. You can listen in and you know, learn something. We all are learning together. This is the fascists failing. And the 9 of Cups. So Joe Biden's going to make this country look like anything is possible. And actually, after all the suffering, the fascists, the constituents of the fascists, the constituents that voted them in, and then plus there was all that voter suppression, so that was a big part of why they even got these seats illegitimately. It looks like we will get through this. We'll get over this hump, but it's going to be unlike anything we've ever seen in history. Okay, what else? Kevin McCarthy, Marjorie Taylor Greene, let's look at what's going to happen with her. Boy, does she think she's something. What's so interesting is I see Marjorie Taylor Greene getting on like Fox and getting on these, you know, getting on the stage in some form. And she thinks she's really beautiful and she thinks she's really smart. And you can't, what did Sarah Palin used to say? Oh, I can't stand that woman. Speaking of dumb, something about putting lipstick on a pig. I know that sounds mean, but that just popped into my head because I was just thinking about, I'm not calling her a pig, but I was thinking about Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to make herself look like professional and like, oh, look, I'm professional and I'm on a news show and I'm the expert, and what's coming out of her mouth is complete stupidity. It's unfreaking believable. And just when you think you don't believe it, there's more unbelievable stuff that happens. So we're living in a state of disbelief. Somebody asked earlier what my arm says. It says believe, and this says, this too shall pass. I'm reading my arm for you. This too shall pass. Word salad. Yes. Word salad. I am lost. You guys definitely have befuddled me with the chat. I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, my mood ring keeps changing color. I love it. Insulting to pigs. Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't even know how to get a bill on the floor. She doesn't. These people don't even know. I don't have to ask the cards if Marjorie Taylor Greene knows what she's talking about, Soul Surfer. The card, I don't need to check the cards. There is a lot going on here in the chat. There's a lot of you here. Thank you for being here. She has no clue what she's talking about. I guess there's a positive side to that if you want to look at any positives, and it's that when you see that there are people that incompetent and that dumb that are holding public office and getting paid. We're paying these people. They're getting paid our taxpayer dollars. They have all the health care they want. If they stay longer than, I think it's 10 years, they have a fully funded pension. I think Donald Trump probably still has Secret Service. I mean, they get all the benefits and we get nothing. So if you see these people holding these powerful seats and they're complete idiots, well, you too could run for something. You too could run for something. There's an organization called Run for Something. Check it out. Your hard-earned taxpayer dollars are paying the fascists. Let's just take a breath. Your hard-earned taxpayer dollars are paying for the fascists that were part of the insurrection to be attempting to dismantle our country covertly. This is what makes me crazy when people don't participate. Crazy. Just crazy. What did Marie ask? Will Citizens United be overturned in the near future? I want all of you to watch Ari Melber last night. Please do this. I sincerely. Ari Melber last night. Look for the clip with Michael Moore. And hear the story of what happened in Michigan. Where the Democrats were winning, but the Republicans stole the seat. Several years in a row, until a 20-something-year-old girl kind of noticed it and went, well, that doesn't seem right. And the Democrats in Michigan, they turned it around so that the votes would be properly counted, and if a Democrat won, then a Democrat would hold the seat. Check it out. I gave you that's a basic skeleton story version. It can be done. You saw that? Yes. Yes. Preach. I can't help it. I have a church. I have a church. Watch my church. If you're in a bad mood, watch my church. Yeah, you saw Ari. Yeah. Stay involved. Stay engaged, because it's fascinating what's going on. I have channeled Abraham Lincoln. Preacher Annette. I call myself a minister. I'm administering wisdom. Let's switch decks. Oh my gosh, I've been here for over an hour, which is not unusual. Wait, but before I switch decks, let's really look at Marjorie Taylor Greene in terms of what's her fate going to be. I just get Jack Smith. Oh, and besides, somebody's going to somebody's going to squeal on Marjorie. Is his name Ali something? Alexander? Do I have that right? It's threatening to tell on Marjorie. And the guides are I'm also picking up that Marjorie Taylor Greene's ex is going to get her in trouble too. That's interesting. Who was even surprised to see George Santos in drag? Was anybody? Was anybody surprised to see George Santos in drag? I see Marjorie Taylor Greene's ex taking her to court. And it's not just for a divorce. I think that he's going to rat her out. There's two. Is it Ali Alexander? The guy that, yeah, Ali Alexander is so, I don't know why he's so mad at Marjorie, but I get that not only does she have him ratting her out, but her ex-husband is coming, I'm sure they're not divorced yet, but her ex-husband is coming after her for something too. And she doesn't see it coming. This is the Four of Cups. She doesn't see it coming. This is a subpoena. She's hemmed in. She's hemmed in. George Santos is not even his name. Damon, you're so funny. It's not a big deal that he was in drag. It's just that I think it was just like, what else don't we know? You know what I mean? It's like, it's just another layer, another thing on the list of like, oh yeah, really? Well, that's interesting. It's just interesting. Oh, Mr. Green did say he has a bombshell on Mrs. Green? I didn't know. I'm just picking that up. The guides tell me. I guess I don't have to watch the news. except for the topics. Lauren Boebert, let's see what's going to happen with her. I want to take this moment to thank you all for being here for your Friday night. Instead of being out on a date, we can just consider that we're all in a date together. We're on a virtual date. You're dating the psychic. Lauren Boebert. Oh, it's funny. I mean, I see Lauren Boebert, I say her name, and I see her standing up and acting like she's so important and so telling it, like pretending she knows what she's talking about, Lauren Boebert, and then I see somebody hauling her off. You're welcome, Terry. I see somebody hauling Boebert off. I just really feel, I'm glad you're having fun. I'm having fun. I see somebody hauling Boebert off as she's on her stage. You know how she gets on the stage and she's like strutting around like she's in middle school? Oh, is that what happens when people hit the thumbs up? I don't even know. I should follow these things more. I'm getting a team behind me. I'm gonna get better at a lot of this stuff. Thank you, Damon. Boebert. I see some very strong women in government. Yeah, that's what it's exactly. The cards are showing me exactly what I was seeing. Reading her the riot act, so to speak. Boebert, yeah, she's going to get hauled off. I see some strong women. Thank you, Kara. I see some strong women hauling her butt off. And this is the Ace of Wands. It's all the evidence. After the show, come back and comment to get the algorithm activated too. Wow, you know more about this YouTube stuff than I do. And let me just let you know that I mentioned at the start, I'm going to have a podcast. I'm going to have a team. I'm going to have a more professional setup. And although I don't think I want to give up my backdrop and Sadhguru, so we'll see. But anyway, I'm really, my New Year's resolution was to really launch some big time stuff. So stay tuned, and you can say you knew me when. I like that. I can see as clear as a daylight that the hour is coming when women will lead humanity to a higher evolution. I have to look up this Hazrat Inayat Khan. Great quotes. Chuck Hepner here kind of prompted me to go read some Thomas Merton, which I bought a Thomas Merton book and got some good stuff that I read from for my Church of Spirituality too. Yeah, Boebert, man. I actually want to know a little bit more about that. Like what's going to happen after she gets caught. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. I appreciate that, Carrie. Thanks. What else is going to happen? But one thing about, amping it up professionally, like my whole get up here and I'm going into a professional studio some of the time, is that I just want to say to you guys, when it comes to being like to yourself or being nice and extending a friendly hand, always opt for the latter, because that's how I've made all the connections that I've made in my life. And I'm probably telling you something that you already know, but if we're nice to people, nice things happen. Nice things happen. On Netanyahu, I can look at that. We're still looking at Boebert. Yeah, Thomas Merton. Good stuff. Are we still looking at Boebert? Well, yeah, her racy past is going to come up. And the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so there's a lot of evidence about Boebert, Knight of Cups. Yeah, there's been a lot of knights coming up in the readings lately. K-N-I-G-H-T, knights. Oh yeah, I'll ask about Mitch too. And the other night we were talking about people that had kind of dropped out of view, like Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell. So I was going to switch decks. I'm going to switch decks. These are a little bit more bright. Okay. Jack Smith. Let's read about Jack Smith. And the actor, did I finish telling you about the actor who was lost in California? That I feel like he perished in the in the elements. So sad, but I do think they'll find the body. Yeah, Supreme Court. That was just on my mind. You read my mind. I do need to look at that. No. What are you guys saying no to? What's going on here? StreamYard has a YouTube channel with helpful tips. Okay, great. Thank you, Joe G. And here's the other thing. Just on the topic of me upgrading this year in a big way. If I have no interest in something, I don't beat myself over the head to learn it or whatever. I hire other people to do it. It's way less stressful. And it's worth it. Okay. All right, Mitch McConnell first. I keep changing topics. My sense is that Mitch McConnell doesn't want to be associated with the fascists, and that Mitch McConnell, believe it or not, I'm just going to say, this is what I get. Mitch McConnell likes Joe Biden. I don't know why that. I'm thinking that would be shocking. But Mitch McConnell actually likes Joe Biden. Is he singing? Who would he be singing about? Mitch McConnell. Yeah, the hangman. Mitch McConnell's kind of getting his popcorn too. He's just kind of sitting back and kind of, Mitch McConnell's like, you notice I've been upgrading? I haven't really upgraded anything. But thanks. Mitch McConnell, he's getting up there. I'm just surprised to see that he really does like Joe Biden. Like, they've been together in government a long time. They're not like besties, but I think he has a lot of respect for Joe Biden. Yeah, and so the hangman is like, as far as Mitch McConnell goes, he's keeping a low profile. And also, think about what Trump was calling Mitch's wife again and again and again. Mitch already said they wouldn't vote against the debt ceiling. Yeah, Rita, but what do you mean by that? Mitch McConnell said he was going to quit. Anyway, so he's just hanging back. He's kind of in self-preservation mode. And he's trying to keep the money hidden. That's what I'm picking up. He's just kind of hanging back. He's just watching the circus. I was going to say something else. The you-know-what show. And they remind you of grumpy old men. I don't think Joe Biden's grumpy. It looks like Mitch is trying to hide some money. Remember we used to call him Moscow Mitch? There was a reason for that. Yes, there was. Didn't quite ever get to the bottom of it. You believe Mitch is getting done? What do you mean by that? That sounds weird. Thanks, Daryl. He means at the end, Republicans... Yeah, well, I read on that the other day. I hope... Yeah, exactly. The pink Tish, you're funny. I hope you didn't think that I was saying that they would not raise the debt ceiling. I feel like it's going to be teetering, almost crashing the world's economy, and then bouncing back. Biden go Mitch's bridge. I'm not understanding what you're saying. Biden go Mitch's bridge. Yeah, sometimes auto spell makes what you say sound really strange. Oh, thank you, Diana, for looking out for me. Hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. Well, you know, I don't think that some of these Republicans like Rand Paul and, you know, who are the other heinous ones? There's so many heinous ones. I'm not going to do channeling tonight. That would be a separate thing. Oh yeah, Biden got the infrastructure bill. That's true. But even before that, Mitch was keeping a low profile. And I really get about Mitch McConnell that he's just like, he can't believe what he's seeing. I mean, he's a terrible human being, but he cannot believe what he's seeing. No, I don't get Mitch and Lindsay going to Russia. Rand Paul is a scary, yeah, Rand Paul, I mean, he seems like he's possessed by a demon. Let's ask about, I can't believe how long I've been on. Doesn't feel like it that long. Let's ask about the investigating the investigators. And then we'll answer a couple of other questions. Yeah, speaking of Jim Jordan, they want to investigate the January 6th committee. I was thinking about that today, and they want to investigate the January 6th committee investigators, right? And so today I was thinking, like, what are they looking for? What are they looking for? Yeah, well, ego, demon. Moonchild, I think Rand Paul is possessed by his own ego. Yeah, it might be demonic. Mitt Romney, he doesn't have another job to do. My fellow Massachusetts person in the chat. When Mitt Romney was governor of Massachusetts, he actually did a decent job. We were the first state in the country to have health care. Mass health. Okay, so the January 6th, the investigators investigating the investigators, which is such a concept such a strange thing I'd never heard up until, I don't know, a few years ago. Investigators, investigate the investigators. How's that gonna go? King of Swords, man. King of Swords is Jack Smith. I keep on seeing the King of Swords. You know, Mitt Romney, he's a good guy. He's just like, he's old school Republican. And he's kind of like Mitch McConnell is kind of like, I don't know, just watching it going, and like eyes bugged open, jaw dropped. Like, they just don't know what planet they're on anymore. The Empress represents the United States being okay. The investigators investigating whatever I said. That thing I just said. It's not going to go well for the Republicans because the Six of Wands is here, which is representing all the evidence about January 6th. So it's like, what are you doing? The King of Swords, that's justice, and the Empress is the United States being protected from them. Anyone have weird things happen today? Yeah, like every day. Jack Smith. Jack Smith is the Hamburglar. I don't think I know enough about the Hamburglar to really know what you mean. Okay, I don't want to stay forever, but I'll stay for a few more minutes. Yeah, this is the Tarot of the Divine. So what pressing questions do we have? There are so many. And I'm leaving some out. I'm going to pull 3 cards actually about Ukraine. The state of things. Milwaukee, it was election. Okay, yeah, we were talking about that earlier. The election commissioner that revealed the vote. So not only revealed voter suppression, but bragged about it. He was ousted, but will the investigation continue? Will it change anything? We'll have to change it. The guys are saying we'll have to do what they did in Michigan. I think it's up to Wisconsin to really look at what they did, what they accomplished in Michigan as far as voting rights go. Yeah, but I didn't answer your question earlier, but I was talking about that. Sandra, thank you for reminding me what I was reading about. Ukraine. Let's see. Yeah, the Chariot card is coming. This is what I've been feeling about Ukraine. I've been feeling like as soon as they're going to get a big pile of weapons all at once, and it's like once it hits a critical mass, the Chariot card is indicating that Ukraine is going to get a lot of help all at once. The Hierophant is fairness in terms of, Germany, the Four of Cups is indicating Germany being late to the tank game, but I do feel like they will cave. The Hierophant is the right thing. That is about the right thing happening, and the Chariot is it's happening quickly. It's happening quickly. Yeah, they're supposed to get tanks, but it's not resolved, but I feel like it will be. I might have already asked this question, but will Germany send the tanks within a week? Yeah. I think it's just going to be a few days. Yeah, okay. So, is it going to be within 3 days? No. Will Germany send the tanks in 4 days? In about 5 days. It looks like in about 5 days. Pray for Ukraine. I have some old meditations going on a year ago on my timeline, and there were meditations for Ukraine, and I think I should repost them. Germany and Ukraine are training on the tanks right now, so maybe there was some progress there. Yeah, pray for Ukraine. Visualize, like I just showed you the picture that said "War is over" by John and Yoko. What must we definitely, it's against the Constitution not to approve the debt. Let's answer some last questions. Also, I think that we should ask about the 14th Amendment, Section C. These insurrectionists should not be holding seats in our government. So, and we're at a time right now where our Constitution is being stomped all over. Speaking of that, I was supposed to read on the Supreme Court. Our Constitution is being stomped all over. Trump stomped all over it. Trump wants to throw out the Constitution. Did we read on Trump? Let's do that first. What's happening with him? Let's see. Oh, I've gone over my allotted time. The Knight of Cups, the Six of Coins, that's about January 6th. And the Three of Cups, well, I'm seeing that this is wins for justice around Trump. Justice is winning. The Six of Coins, justice is coming after him for January 6th. The Knight of Cups is this is the legal system coming for him. And yeah, he missed the opportunity, and I've gotten this card before. Trump missed the opportunity to not be as guilty as he is. I was wondering, and I can ask this, I was wondering, thank you, to do the 14th Amendment, you need 2/3 votes of both houses. Yeah, maybe we can look at that next time. But the Four of Cups is Trump had many opportunities to not sink himself further, but he just decided to just keep sinking himself. I don't remember if we've asked about Jack Smith or conviction for sedition. All right, let's just read. Let's see what cards come up about Jack Smith. Just in general. Cards coming up about Jack Smith. I think Jack Smith is really honing in on the January 6th committee findings. The Four of Swords, it's exhausting. All the work they're doing, but Jack Smith can handle it. It's exhausting. It's a lot. They're getting a lot of death threats. Temperance is they're still slogging through some of the stuff, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Send Merrick Garland and Jack Smith and those entire DOJ. Send them light. The Seven of Coins. Sometimes I have to do a like a translator. I'm a Seven of Coins. Okay. It's going to be, I keep getting a slog. It's going to be a slog, but it's going to be, I think the other night I said it's going to be like death by 1,000 cuts. It's just going to be chipping away, the DOJ, chipping away at the criminals. Oh, Joanna, it's too late for that long question, but just know that justice is coming. And one more. We covered a lot. But one more. How about some community cards? Let's pick three community cards. The guides just said expect the unexpected, so I know that's vague, but just take that for what it's worth. You bought the January 6th committee report. I actually bought it on Audible. You can get it on Audible. So 3 cards for the collective. Stop talking about inflation and prices. This is for the collective. Stop listening to talk about inflation and prices. Just stop listening to it. There's no need to listen to it. Will be provided for. Stop worrying about that stuff. We're going to make it through, but this is a time, it reminds me of when the pandemic hit. We were all like flying all over the place, we were just kind of on this never-ending joyride. And then the pandemic hit. So these times slow us down. And this is about being slowed down and assessing and simplifying. And the Page of Wands. Pay attention to the little gifts. I have a sign on my wall that says, what in this can I be grateful for? These are, the signs I always point out that my teacher, Tony Stone, who's on the other side now, made all these signs. And I have one on my wall that says, what in this can I be grateful for? This is a new moon in Aquarius. Definitely, the more we look at, like my mug says, too blessed to be stressed. The more we look at the blessings and the gifts, the easier it's going to be for us and for everybody. And I didn't read on DeSantis, but DeSantis has no charisma. So it's not going to get him very far. And I don't see Donald Trump running for president, just so you know. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys so much, or I wouldn't be here. And something big is about to happen. Damon's reading the tea leaves. Something big is about to happen in D.C. Something big is always happening in D.C. All right. Sign up for my classes, Psychic Annette Dion. We have a class tomorrow. You can sign up for it. It's about not living like you have to do everything yourself. That's what our class is about. It's all a law of attraction series. If you'd like to book a reading, I will send you a free gift of an autographed copy of my book. I'm looking right at it. The 7-Day Key to Living Inspiration and Empowerment, up until January 31st if you book a reading. And I'll see you soon. Grassroots of Democracy and Church of Spirituality. It's all on my website, psychicannetteDion.com. Love you guys. Be well. And thanks for looking out for one another. It really is a special thing. Namaste.